Today on Addicted to Gear, we're going to debunk whether bigger is actually better. We're taking a look at this mini pedal board by Vangoa. Stay tuned. I'm a pedal glutton, is what I am, and I like to cram as many pedals on my pedal board as I can, so usually I'm not looking for a small pedal board. I've actually had lunch boxes bigger than this, to be honest with you guys. As time goes on, I realize that sometimes there is something very handy about having a smaller size pedal board where you just basically take the essentials with you and that's it. So today I'm taking a look at this pedal board. It comes in a really stylish, nicely designed case, and we're gonna see how it stacks up. Now you can see the case is rather small, you know, but it's got a very nice sturdy handle. It even has a nice carrying strap, so you can wear this thing like, you know, kind of like a Gucci bag or something, you know, and just have your hands free to carry your guitars or whatever else you need to carry. A nice set of feet on the bottom here so you can set it down without ruining the bag. And there's actually this section here which I'm really not sure what it's for. It's a bunch of Velcro. It's kind of like it's got wings or something. I don't know what this is for, guys. Maybe to strap around your guitar or something, the neck of your guitar, or I guess hook it onto something. I'm not really sure, but we'll figure it out. You get this handy dandy instruction manual, which we'll take a look at later. You have a series of cables, wall wart I call it, cables that will connect to your pedals, foam insert that protects the whole thing. The reason why you get all this stuff is because the pedal board is actually powered. Now you also get 2 strips of Velcro, which we'll apply in a minute, and we'll see how the whole thing goes together. And then you have the actual pedal board. Now take a look at this thing. You could probably fit, I don't know how many full-size pedals. I'm gonna say 4 max. Mini pedals, maybe a few more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 outputs for power on this thing. Now there's some writing on here. It says 8 times isolated, 9 volt, 100 milliamps. And there's also a little knob here, a mini knob. The reason why you have that mini knob is because this board also holds a few cool surprises. It's got a series of LED lights here along the front of it that actually pick up the sound. There's a little microphone built in, and you can actually tell that you're plugged in and everything's working and it's picking up the signal with these LED lights. You know, if you like shiny, cool, flashy things, you'll probably like that. You also have a power switch right over here, which is nice because sometimes the power supplies that you buy to power your boards don't actually have an on-off switch. You have to unplug it to kill it, right? And it's nice to just be able to flick the switch and turn it off. You have a power in right over here. You have another small LED right in the front of here to show you that it's working. And then you have an out and an in. And I believe what you can do there is once your pedals are all hooked up, you can go into the input and then the output will go straight to your amplifier. It's made of aluminum. Aluminum is always good because it's light, it's durable. And the other cool thing about this board is that there's little built-in feet, so you can actually swing them out. And you can actually put the board at an angle, which makes it a lot more usable to see what you're doing. And the feet are made of nice solid aluminum as well, so they're not cheap. They don't look like they're gonna snap off. You also have a little rubber feet underneath, so if you don't use the pull out legs, you can put this on the ground with the rubber feet and it won't slide around as you're trying to step on your pedals. So why don't we go ahead, install the Velcro, slap a few pedals on this thing, and see whether or not it's actually practical. So I don't know which one is the best. Like, is it better to put the loopy side down on the board or the sticky side? Like, this is the loop and this is the soft part. I wonder if the manual says anything about this. Yeah, lo and behold, they have a section right over here, applying the Velcro. You can apply either the hook or the loop to the pedal board according to your own preference, and the strip can be cut and used for the pedals, peel off the back and Velcro the... All right, so basically what they're saying is we don't know either, so just do what you think is best. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the rough side on the pedal board and the soft side on the pedals. Let's go with that. Some of you might not be happy with that choice, but you know what they say, tough toenails. That's what I'm going with, all right? So we wanna make sure we apply the Velcro properly and evenly. I'm pretty anal about getting things lined up. That should be pretty good, not bad. We'll do the same for the other side here. It's always a little stressful to get it lined up properly, but we can do it. That's good enough. So let's say you want to put a large double-sized pedal and a smaller one. You're probably only going to fit 3 or 4 pedals on this board. Even if you scooch them over, you got to leave enough space for the plugs to go in, right? The connection plugs, and you don't want them to be too close, otherwise you won't be able to get them in or out. So I'm gonna say max 3 pedals of this size. But the good thing about this board, if you're going with smaller sized pedals, like the mini size pedals, you can probably fit quite a few more. So let's see how that looks. The way the pedal board is designed, you would either have to put your pedals up here or down here. You know, if you want to squeeze in more pedals, you can do that this way and possibly squeeze one more. I mean, there's 8 outputs on this thing, so you should technically be able to get 8 of them on your board. You might have to be a little bit more creative in terms of how you set these up. But typically, you know, I'm not crazy about setting them up this way, because then you have to kind of put the Velcro in the middle and they'll shift a little bit. And if you put them like centered on the board, then the Velcro is like split up between the uppermost and lowermost edge of the pedal, which maybe doesn't make the best connection. So you'll have to decide how you want to set that up. So I set up a couple of pedals on the board for you guys. I haven't Velcroed them in yet because I haven't determined what the series or sequence needs to be, but I just wanted to show you what this thing does when we actually hit the power. So let's turn on the power on this thing. As you can see, as soon as we do that, this thing starts to light up like the Knight Rider. There's actually a microphone that picks up my voice, picks up the sound in the room, and lights up these LED lights. Now, whether or not you like that or not, is really up to you. For some people that like that kind of stuff, it could be pretty cool. So you might not necessarily have those really fancy thin connectors. I have these pretty solid, bulky connectors, so you can see just how much space you need between the pedals, as opposed to when you're using these slim connectors. These are always better when you're using a small board like this, but some of you might not have these, so I just wanted to give you an example of how much extra space you'll need to leave between your pedals. If you're going after that small compact pedal format, this is a good grab and go alternative for those of you who don't want to have a full-blown board at your disposal or might not need that. I think the unit is well built. It accommodated a handful of pedals without any issues. I didn't hear any noise issues coming from the board, and you shouldn't have any problems with it as long as you're using good quality patch cables and, you know, limit the length or the run of your long leads to like 10 feet or so that you're not going to lose any of the high end. You should be just fine. Those are issues that you would have on any pedal board, by the way, not just this specific one. The lights on the board is more of a gimmick than anything else. I don't really need that feature, but some of you might like it. I like the ins and outs. I think it's nice to have something where you can just plug right into the board and go. It's a little redundant because you can definitely plug right into your pedals. It doesn't make a huge difference, but you know, some of you might like to have that easier access on the front of it. The feet are definitely a nice function. I like to be able to tilt the board, to be able to have access to it comfortably. It does that really well. Maybe the only constructive criticism that I have about the board is perhaps the space between the two bars that are going across the board could have been slightly smaller to accommodate smaller pedals. But you know, there's always give and take whenever you look at any kind of pedal board design, so you just have to choose the one that fits your needs. So if you finally decided that maybe smaller is better at this point in your life, check out the Vangoa mini pedal board. It might be the one that's right for you. If you like honest video reviews like this and you appreciate the time and effort we put into creating them, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And better yet, maybe consider subscribing to the channel, because if you're addicted to gear just like I am, there'll be more great videos coming up and you don't want to miss it, so stay tuned.